Hi everyone, this is Jason from Metal Flesh. Today I'm gonna try to rank all of the Warlock and Doro albums. There's quite a lot. I will try to spread it out just to keep it fun. And from every album, I'm gonna try to pick up two highlight moments. Otherwise, we're gonna be here for a long time. Right, let's start off. Warlock era, 1984, Burning Witches. Doro burst into the scene with pure 80s heavy metal fire, raw, defiant, and polished, and already driven by her unmistakable voice and presence. Here, the highlights will be Burning Witches and Without You. This one, I'm just going to put it on B tier. The band followed that up quickly with Hellbound in 1985. Warlock tightens up their sound. The riffs are sharper, faster tempos, and there's more precision. Doro's voice is better. It has grown, and the songwriting has taken a step forward. The album as overall feels slightly better than Burning Witches. Highlights here: Hellbound and Earthshaker Rock. It's just gonna go just in front of Burning Witches. The band followed that up in 1986 with Through a Steel. It's a more melodic and acceptable album. It pushes Warlock towards an international sound. The material, when compared with the other two previous albums, this one falls a little bit uneven. The highlights here will be Fight for Rock and True as Steel. I'm just going to put it in a C tier. As I stated, I'm just trying to spread this out. The band followed that up with Triumph and Agony, 1987. This is the band's masterpiece. It's a mix of power, melody, and emotion. It defines everything great about Warlock. Doro's performance is absolutely stunning. This album is built for big arenas, and even the production is absolutely perfect. Here we've got highlights of For Emma and Arrow of the Ruins. This masterpiece deserves From Here to Eternity. That was the end of Warlock, and then Doro created a new band. It went solo. It started with Force Majeure, 1989. This is Doro's debut album. It keeps some of the Warlock spirit alive while adding some late 80s hard rock edge and polish. When compared to previous albums, this one's a bit shorter material. It's not one that I tend to visit quite often. Here we've got the highlights of Cry Wolf and Angels with Dirty Faces. This one's going to go on D tier. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad album. I just don't revisit this one very often. Right, 1990 we've got Doro's release called Doro. This one's produced by Gene Simmons. This album leans more into the glossy American hard rock with big choruses and great attitude. Doro's voice shines with strength, charisma, giving the song their edge. Doro doesn't tend to be very good with cover songs, but on this one there is a huge exception on For You, a Kiss cover. That is one of the highlights of the album, and the other one is Unholy Love. That to me goes into From Here to Eternity. 1991, Doro strikes back with True at Heart, a softer, more emotional album that steps back from metal aggression to focus on the melody and warmth. Here again, this one I don't visit this too often. It's way too soft for me. The highlights here will be You're Gonna Break My Heart and Even Angels Cry. This one I'm just gonna put it on a D tier over here. That was followed up by Angels Never Die, 1993. It's a triumphant return to heavier metal sound with big guitars, emotion, and Doro sounds more commanding on her songs. This one has better production than the previous album. It does combine some emotion from True at Heart and some of the power elements of Force Majeure. To me here, the highlights will be Don't Go and Eye on You. I'm just going to put this on A tier. Doro followed that up on 1995 with Machine to Machine. Doro embraces here modern sound, industrial elements, darker tones and bold experimentation. This is not for every single fan. There's a big shift from Angels Never Die and her classic sound. This one has got a few highlights. It's not one of her best albums. Highlights here will be Ceremony and Machine to Machine. This one's just going to go to a D tier over here at the end. Doro followed that up in 1998 with Love Me in Black. This one is haunting and deeply emotional. This album refines her experimentation into a darker, more atmospheric masterpiece. Doro's voice is absolutely stunning. I prefer this over than Machine to Machine, and this is what Machine to Machine should have been. So this one, I'm just gonna put it on A or B. I'm just gonna put it on B tier over here. The highlights here will be Kiss Me Goodbye and Love Me in Black. Doro followed that up in 2002 with Calling the Wild, a proud return into her more classic heavy metal sound. The album opens with raw energy, great riffs, but loses some steam halfway through. It loses steam, to be honest, at White Wedding, a poor Billy Idol cover. Here we've got highlights of Kiss Me Like a Cobra and Give Me a Reason. I'm just gonna put this at a B tier over here. Doro followed that up with Fight in 2002. Aggressive and stripped down heavy metal, heavier riffs, more attitude over melody. The songs hit hard, they blend together nicely. This one hasn't got any major hits. A lot of the songs they're not memorable. It's quite hard to pick a few highlights. Perhaps for me will be Always Live to Win and Rock Before We Bleed. This one's just gonna go on a C tier. Doro followed that up with Classics Diamonds in 2004. It's not a new album. Doro here reimagines her classic songs with a full orchestra, turning metal anthems into emotional pieces. This one's quite nice. Here we've got the highlights of Love Rain on Me, which is a brand new song, and a Judas Priest cover of Break the Law. This is not for everybody. I'm just gonna put it on a B tier at the end. Doro followed that up rather rapidly with Warrior Soul. This album manages to create a perfect balance between the power and the melody. Doro sounds strong, very strong, seasoned with complete and commands. Every song feels heartfelt yet heavy. The album here has managed to keep the best formula between Calling of the Wild and Fight. So it kept the nice melodies and from Calling of the Wild and the heavy sound from Fight. Here we've got the highlights of My Majesty and Strangers Yesterday. This for me is From Here to Eternity. I might just put it right in front of Doro. Doro followed that up with Fear No Evil. This one's packed with anthems and emotion. This album celebrates Doro's unity with her fans and her metal roots. It continues perfectly the sound of Warrior Soul, but with more anthemic sound. The highlights here will be Night of the Warlock and I Lay My Head Upon My Sword. This one is an A tier, it's just going to go right there. Doro followed that up with Raise Your Fist, Big, Bold and Made for Stage. Classic Doro through and through. Every track feels like a call to arms. It's a natural follow up to Fear No Evil, louder and more direct. It reflects less on the anthemic sides. The major highlight here will be It Still Hurts, that features Lemmy, and Revenge. To me, it's not as strong as the previous two albums, but I'm just going to put it on a B tier right over there. 2018, Doro released a double album. Loads and loads of songs. The songs range between battle cries, hellfire ballads, a few heavy metal songs, nothing experimental. Doro took the formula of Calling of the Wild, Fight, and Raise Your Fist, blended it into this double album. Production on this is not very good. It's quite a bit of a letdown. This one features loads of songs, but quite a few of them are quite skippable. For disc 1, the highlights will be Love's Gone to Hell and Backstage to Heaven, and for disc 2, Lift Me Up and It Cuts So Deep. To me, this will be a D tier. Fortunately. 2023, Doro followed that up with Congress, Forever Strong and Proud. This is a powerful return to her metal roots, tight, energetic and full of pride. Doro sounds refreshed, her vocals are commanding as ever. The production issues here have been solved. We've got some special guests of Rob Halford appearing on 2 songs, Living After Midnight and Total Eclipse of the Heart. The highlights here will be I Prevail and Time for Justice. It feels like a continuation of Forever Warriors, Forever United. Unfortunately, that's going to be a D tier in front of Forever Warriors, Forever United. That brings us to Doro's latest release, which is Warriors of the Sea. This one's quite kinda an odd release because it's not a full album, it's not an EP, it's not a single. It just contains 4 new songs, a cover to AC/DC song, and 5 live tracks. Buy this only if you're like a fan of Doro, only because it's not a full album. I'm just gonna put it on a D tier. I'm just gonna put it over here. So there we are. This is the Doro and Warlock discography, ranked. If you agree with my ranking or not, just drop a comment and I'll see you the next time.